Welcome to Cooking with Gerald. On today's episode, I'll be making Arroz Con Pollo, or chicken with rice. If this is your first time visiting my channel, welcome. And for those of you that are returning, I'd like to thank you for coming back and also for supporting. Before we get started, if you would for me, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. Now on to the video. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm making chicken and rice. To get started, let me go over the ingredients. Heavy cream, chicken bouillon, all-purpose seasoning, some rice. This is short grain. You can get long grain if you like. I like sticky rice. I don't like a pilaf type rice that's separated. I like my rice to be kind of sticky because a lot of times I may put cheese or something in it. Anyway, I have some chicken thighs that have already been cleaned. Also have a half of an onion, one large portobello mushroom, and a couple cloves of garlic. So to get started, I'm going to go ahead and turn my stove on. All right, let me explain to you how we're going to do this. I'm gonna make, well, actually, let me tell you this first. These right here, cream of chicken and cream of mushroom soup, you can use these and it actually would be very simple. All you would do is chop up all your ingredients, season your meat, and put this can or cans of soup like in a microwave bowl or on the stove to heat it up, to thin it out. And then take your rice and mix it in with that and just pour the rice over the chicken in the casserole dish and you'll be done. However, I'm not doing that. I'm actually making it from scratch. And it's going to be a combination of cream of chicken and cream of mushroom. That's why I have the mushroom. This mushroom looks kind of droopy because it's been in the freezer. So that's why it looks like that. When mushrooms get wet, they absorb a lot of water. So and these mushrooms are optional. Like I said, you can get cream of mushroom. And in some stores, you can actually find a mix of cream of mushroom and cream of chicken together. And then also, you can put cream of celery in here as well. But that's the easy way to do it. If you're short on time, you just want to go ahead and get it done. I mean, that's one of the easiest meals that you can make on a weeknight. Is just to take your rice, mix it in with your soups, put all your seasonings in there. And I used to actually take the chicken out of the freezer, the legs, thighs, or whatever type of chicken I'm using, and I wouldn't even thaw it out. I would just mix all the rice and everything together. Once it's mixed together, then I would pour it into this casserole dish and then pour that then drop my chicken down in afterwards, or vice versa. Doesn't make a difference. And cover it with some aluminum foil. Put it on about 375 for an hour, 15 minutes. You want to check it to make sure it's not sticky. And that's it. However, this is the easy way as well. You notice I have on gloves. When you're handling any type of poultry, it's very important to make sure that you keep your hands clean and don't touch a lot of things, because anything that you touch will be contaminated. Poultry is one of the most dangerous foods to work with, but very delicious. You can get a lot of bacteria, infection, salmonella, stuff like that from pork. Oh, no, excuse me, not pork, from chicken. All right, so these seasonings are going to be to your taste. The garlic, if you don't have fresh garlic, you can use garlic powder. When you are purchasing garlic or onion powders, get granulated garlic and granulated onion. Don't get regular onion powder unless there is no other option. The reason that you want to do that is because the granulated garlic has a more concentrated flavor than just the regular garlic powder. And same with the granulated onion. Which I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe the difference between the two is when the garlic and the onion has been dried, it's left in bigger chunks. Not like the garden flakes or onion flakes, but just a little bit larger, or a little bit larger grain. Whereas the powder is ground down real fine, like powder. And this is important too. You always want to get you a knife that you can actually handle. This came with my KitchenAid set, which I actually really like. I use it a lot. I also have the big meat cleaver too that I use. But when I have my little chopping board like this, then I like to use this one. But the easier it is to handle, the easier it's going to be to cut up, and then also safety-wise, it's going to be better for you as well. All right. So we have all of our veggies cut up. With the chicken, I'm just going to do a sear. I'm not going to put any flour on it. I'm just going to season it a little bit and then throw it into a skillet with a little oil in it. And the reason being is because I'm not frying, and I'm not frying, and I'm not actually baking it on its own. It's going to be inside the casserole. So all right guys, so I have my skillet on. I'm using my cast iron. I did go over the ingredients. I didn't say how much, and the reason I didn't say how much is because it's all going to be very based upon your taste. So I mean, that's pretty much how that goes. With the rice, you can do it one of two ways. You can either add it to the pot once your chicken is done and add your liquid in there, or you can cook the rice. And once you cook the rice, cook the meat on the stove or in the oven until it's about halfway done. Then combine them both together with the soup and put it back in the oven. And you can actually put cheese on the top too if you like. So I have my skillet with a couple of tablespoons of oil. I'm gonna go ahead and just get some color on these. Down. And I was going to use the skillet. I may be using something else different, but it still may not be big enough. All right, guys, so chicken has some color on it. You're just actually really starting the cooking process. This is optional. You do not have to do this. You can just put the chicken as it is and not brown it in any way. I like doing that because it gives you flavor, adds more flavor, and it gives you a little color on there. Go ahead and add onion. With this too, you can also add bell pepper if you like, celery, whatever you want to add to it. You can add to it and make it your own. All right, guys, so those have gotten some color on. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add my rice. And like I said, it's gonna depend on how much you're making. This is about a half of a cup. Just keep in mind that rice does swell like pasta does. Also gonna add some herbs, some rosemary and some thyme. Some little rosemary, about a half a teaspoon. Same with the thyme. I love rosemary and thyme on chicken. Really gives you excellent flavor. Also, probably going to use 2 to 3 cups of water. So that's going to be about 2 to 3 teaspoons of the chicken bouillon. This is 2 teaspoons right here. And some all-purpose seasoning. About a teaspoon of that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add my water. Start off with a couple cups. Also, I was looking in my cabinet and found this, which is really good. This is like chicken. Well, actually, it is a chicken base, but it's like a roasted chicken base, herb roasted. I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of that in there. What this does is actually has a lot of salt in it, but what it does is it enhances that chicken flavor a lot. With this also, I used to use like a chicken flavored rice. I didn't used to use regular rice like I'm doing now. I would get a box of the chicken flavored rice to add to it. You can do it that way too, then you don't have to add too many seasonings to it. Bring that up to a boil. All right, guys, so I'm back. It's up to a boil. Now what you want to do is taste. And I can do this because there's no raw chicken in here. The chicken that was in here, it actually, whatever is left over from it has cooked and been brought up to temperature. So I'm not at risk for any type of food poison or anything like that. You don't want to put your chicken in here and taste it. You want to taste it before you put the chicken in there. Actually, that's really good. I'm gonna turn my stove off, add my chicken in here. I'm going to also add a little bit more water. Keep in mind this water is going to evaporate. So my dish is perfectly seasoned now. Once this water evaporates, it'll go back to being what it was. Now, you can cook this on the stove like this with a top on it, or you can put it in the oven. I'm actually going to put it in the oven. If you cook it on top of the stove, you want to make sure that your heat is down to a medium low and cover it with foil, or else cover it with top, and check it periodically. And it's going to cook probably for about an hour or so. But I'm going to do it in the oven. That way I don't have to worry about coming to do anything, or if it's boiling over or anything like that. I'll be able to check it in about 45 minutes or so. All right. All right, guys, so that's in the oven on 350, and I'll check in 45 minutes. All right, guys, so it's been 50 minutes. That's 50. Go ahead and take the cover off this and see what it looks like. Look at that. Rice is nice and soft. Chicken is done. Let me get a. I'm actually gonna set the chicken aside over here. Taking the chicken out so that I can stir the rice up. If I had a bigger pan, then I wouldn't have to take it out. This chicken is done. It's falling off the bone. All right. Oh yeah, this rice is done. Now, at this point, if you like, you can put some cheese in there and a little heavy cream. If that's your like, that's your thing. Let me taste this first. I'm gonna put a little bit more seasoning, which I should just put some salt. This seasoning is almost salt-free, so I'm able to put more. I'm gonna put a little chicken bouillon instead of putting salt. About a half a teaspoon. The general idea of the recipe I'll have down in the description. But yeah, this is done. You can actually serve it up just like this. Or what I'm doing is I'm actually gonna add a little cream in here. Taste it. Put just a little bit more bouillon. Taste one more time. Okay, that's fine. At this point too, you can take the meat off the bone and mix it in with the rice. I'm just gonna put a little heavy cream in here to make it a little creamy. To add some richness. Hence, like cream of mushroom soup, cream of chicken soup. That's pretty much what the cream is doing, is adding that layer of creaminess. I'm gonna put just a little bit more. All right, like I said before, I like the short grain rice simply for this reason, because it actually sticks together a little bit more gummy, kind of like, to me, kind of like dressing. You can use the long grain or medium grain rice. The texture of it will be different from what this is. Taste one more time. Much better, much, much better. All right, so I'm gonna put this under the broiler for about 5 minutes to give it a little color, and I'll be back. All right, guys, so I'm back. As you can see, the broiler put a little color on this chicken and on the rice. This kind of looks like dressing, but it's not. But this is actually a really, really good recipe. Please try this dish. Like I said, the instructions will be down in the bottom of the description. But also keep in mind, the main gist of the recipe is going to be how many servings you're making. The gist of the recipe is going to be your chicken and some rice. That's pretty much it. Chicken, rice, some bouillon, some heavy cream, which is optional. You don't have to put that in there. And that's pretty much it in your seasonings. It's very, very simple. Or you can actually purchase the chicken flavored rice. A box of chicken flavored rice will be equivalent to the amount of rice that I put in here. And with that, depending on how sensitive you are to seasonings, you would have to put anything in there. Maybe just a little salt, maybe not, because that chicken seasoned rice comes already seasoned. So you would just mix it into the water like I did, and go ahead and throw your chicken in there and put it in the oven. At that time too, you can, if you're using milk, you can add a little milk in there to make it creamy. With the heavy cream, I didn't do that because I didn't want it to curdle and look not appetizing. So once again, this is it, my version of chicken and rice, which is very delicious. You can take the meat off, chop it up, throw some cheese inside of it or put cheese on top of it, throw it in the oven and let it bake, and it'll come out as a casserole. So it's whichever you like. Thanks for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Be blessed. Click the notification bell at the top right-hand corner of the screen to be notified each time I upload a new video. And don't forget to leave a comment below. And if you don't mind, please go ahead and share the video. Until next time, stay safe.